Hi, I'm best-selling neighbor who will be learning of the Roll20 game. Or creating a Roll20 game in for D&D Fifth Edition. We'll be covering tips and tricks as well as how to import maps and create tokens. All right. Let's see. Change the camera. All right. Let's see. I should give you a share of the screen so you can watch my video feed. Very professional. All right. All right. So after you've created your map or found your map, what you want to do is you want to. So by default, you'll see this here, and yeah. So basically, what you want to do is you want to go from the chat over to the art library, and then you can upload your map. And see, I will choose a file, which I don't think you can see this on my screen. Okay, but yeah, yes. Yeah. So I'm streaming. No, well, I'm streaming. The way I'm streaming is with split cam, so it basically shows one application at a time. So I don't really know how to get the file navigation, but I'm sure that's pretty universal. Sure, you can figure that part out. Let's see. And I like to use some maps called Mike's Free Maps. I will send you a link to that after the session. I will also post that in the description and the first pinned comment on this here. Let's see. So anyways, I will basically import a map, and I will show you my map collection here. I've actually clicked the add button here, and that is to create uh, the folder, and then I could name the folder and click OK. Let's see. I think this is probably a good one. So this here is two maps, and basically, when I create this, I basically came up here. Oh, and you also want to make sure that you are on the UI redesign, the same UI and the same compendium. Well, compendium is your setting, so you will choose how they interact with the compendium. But you definitely want to use the new compendium in the UI redesign, and that'll basically reload your system when you click that. So you do that now if you haven't already. Oh, okay. So basically, I'm going to the cogwheel in the upper right-hand corner to make sure that we're both on the same UI, because there's the UI redesign, which is the new one. There's the old UI. And it's also letting you know that basically when you're gaming, if you've got different people on different UIs, it seems to me that that can affect certain the give certain tokens for certain people, certain players. Then it could also be like you always want to make sure Chrome or Firefox. Though if someone has though if someone has something that works for them, it's generally okay. But yeah, there may be certain hiccups. So always ask your players if they're having an issue. Like, are you using Chrome or Firefox, or are you using an unsupported browser? And an example of this would be, I think it was either Opera or it was Google or Chrome on a Google Chromebook, where certain features were not available to certain DMs. But okay, so now we will get started with this. So I will go back to the Art Library tab. Oh, and some other things. I'll wait for that, and I'll show you that in a bit. So I'm going to add page, and that's going to create this page. And then I'm going to select it. I'm going to close the ribbon. I think they call it something else now, but it was called the ribbon. And then I'm going to drag this here and that will initially show up as this tiny little thing here. And I'm going to move this over to here. I'm going to zoom in, drag over, and then I'm going to. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm having trouble hearing you as well. Maybe we should disconnect on Discord and reconnect. Okay, I'm going to disconnect and reconnect on Discord. All right, sorry about the delay. I was doing a little bit of feedback, so hopefully that won't happen next time. All right. So what I was saying was, I dragged this map here, this TOD1 gridless 1020 1024.jpg, and then I expanded it to fill the. Oh, you can hear me now. Okay. So I don't know. Yeah. Yes. You should be seeing like a map of a temple or a pyramid. I'm okay. I'm editing this, and you need to watch it on YouTube. Okay. 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 All right. Let's see. I need to add your audio here, actually. All right. Cool. So I've got your audio here. Maybe that's so. Let's see. Click on this. It'll have any picture that you as a token, but then you can move it. Basically, I put it onto the token layer. I need it on the map layer, so I'm going to click on that and move it to the map layer. And when I do that, it'll change the background because my that I used was let's see, was to apply the dominant color from the map to the layer and turn on. Now I also have a second map that I'd like to add to this. So it's to save frames and map changes, and also because you might have players on different maps. So if you have like one location with multiple maps, you might want to just put them all down on one page here. And then I'm going to switch to the map layer. I'm going to move this all the way over here, and it should snap to the grid. And then I'm going to bring the interior map over. And let's see. Oh, okay, there it is. Oh, and when you're grabbing this stuff, you always want to grab it by the word and not the image. If you grab it by the image, then it will not be dragged to the map. Now, as for your fog of war, which is a great that online gaming offers, you want to turn on fog of war. Oh, and you also want to add, these maps are gridless, so you definitely want to search for gridless maps. There are ways to or gridded maps to 20, though sometimes the grids will often not line up perfect to find specifically. You can change the grid size is generally the best, and change the grid to 10 and make them big. Oh, and okay, so that is a metric thing. We do not want that. So yeah, we want to leave it as and solve it. Okay, here we go. And then I can change this to, oh, no, that changes that. Sorry about that. We'll just leave it as the default. All right, not settings I usually mess with, but so that is your grid, everything in the correct layer, and then I just want to token layer. Oh, and you can sort of summon people. So if I'm over here and I am over here, I can basically hold Shift and left click, and that will drag you over to where I am. All right, let's see. And then we need to create a token. So let's see, well, this will add a character first. So we're going to add a character. And you'll want to upload your tokens in the same way that you've uploaded them previously. And so I've got this Sea Goblin Chieftain here I've created, and this token that I've created to drag that and name it. Over on the so yeah. So I'm showing you this on YouTube, but okay, I can. Okay, well I can. Okay, so basically, if you're watching the YouTube stream, let's see, we can. Let's see. Oops, did not need to create that. All right, let's see. All right, so basically, to change your players from one ribbon to the next or one page to the next, you just come up here to this start ribbon here, and you just drag that down. And I will drag you to here, and now you will be on the same map as me. Sorry, I should have showed you that. I should have showed you that earlier. And then I can move you around with the Shift and click. All right. Yeah, so there's one focus map that you can have everyone focus on at a time. I think, although that may have changed. Okay, yeah. So so I can actually select individuals and move them to maps with the new system. And it looks like I just I can see. I'll try myself here. I will just move me to the start screen, and you should still stay at the new page, right? Did yours? Oh, okay. Maybe that's not. Maybe that just doesn't work the way I think it is. All right. Well, let's see. I will put us back over here. All right. So back to the adding of a token here. And so now I've closed this out, but now I'm just going to double click on it and then click edit because I want to make sure the name is correct. And if this was an NPC that was working with the players or something, and I wanted to let them have him, so I wasn't, I definitely was able to open his sheet and look at him and see what he can do, and even roll his stuff. I'm going to apply token defaults, and now there are that won't necessarily matter, but it is a good habit to be in. That all of your changes do get saved, and then I will wait for this to come up, and you can either build him as a character, you can create him as an NPC, or you can edit the sheet directly. I think generally for NPCs, I think create an NPC is the best way to do it, especially as that is a DM only option. So I will do that. And here we've got his name. Sea Goblin Chieftain. He is a medium humanoid with an alignment, and he's got an armor class, he's got hit points, and he's got a die roll to determine his hit points if you want to roll for them. It will only be if you click the roll to do so. He's got abilities. You can add his ability scores, example, and get down and Oh, and another thing, if you want advantage, you also always want to roll damage, or at least it saves time during combat if you do roll for damage and crit. And let's see. And do you want to show his name? It's probably best to show it. And down here, you can add actions by clicking the plus, and he's got 2 hit. He's one target. You can skip that. Does bludgeoning. And iron caps lock. Let's see. Oh, and for this, you would need to put in his strength. If it was +1, you would need to put that in manually because these types of feats don't do that. Let's see, description shows, and then you can just type in the goblin punches the opponent. And then to close that, you click the here, and then it's right here, and then you can click punch, and then here. He rolled a 9 on that punch. He did 1 point of damage. Well, 2 points. Oh, yeah, sorry. He was feeling a little. He's feeling a little angry there. He doesn't like being poked around by mice. Okay, so you can't import a character directly. What you can do is you can use D&D Beyond, and you can roll to D&D Beyond. So now I think this should take me to to D&D Beyond here. Okay, so I'm not signed in. Let me sign in. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's all right. Just search. All right, so I am logged in right now. All right, so I am in, and this is a character I made for a one-shot. And so I've got the Beyond20 browser app installed, and that is basically, let's see. And you can just install that. And then when I click unarmed strike here, I don't see that it says it sent it to the VTT. Sometimes it will take, okay, so a little while, but it did come through. It often. But yeah, then it rolled here, and then I can also here, and I can go to my inventory. Let's see, I can click on display on VTT, and then yeah, it shows that I've got these common abilities, and I've got this. Yeah, you can go ahead and download that and give it a try. And it's really easy to set up. You just install it. Ow, my head hurts. I just, oh. All right. So that is how that works. Yeah, it sounds like you got it about right. So yeah, and there's a few downsides and some upsides. So the upside is that it's really easy for players to do. So it's you can roll, or yeah, D&D Beyond is definitely faster than um, definitely faster than Roll20 for creating characters, and you probably already have a bunch on there. Yeah, so there's that. And now the downside is you won't be able to track your player easily. So usually I could just go here, and then I could go into my background information and all of that. So what I'd like to do is and it doesn't look like I've set that up in the master file yet. But yeah, so I guess I'll do that now. So I like to create a handout, and I like to call that player hooks. And 2 players, edited by all players. And then I will add some artwork to it. Let's see. Oh, and not in the right. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Here we go. These are some players. And basically what I like to do is come down here, and once you put the picture in, it'll come down here, and then basically please only one player edit this at a time. And coordinate your efforts to avoid data loss. Because this, if I'm typing something in and someone else hits save after I hit save, then it saves whatever the last person saved. So if we both start editing and I put something in and I hit save, and it won't show up on your screen until you open it again. So yeah, you definitely only want to have one person editing this at a time. And then I usually put an example. Milky. Yes. All right. Yes. So yeah, I think I do have a player notes in here as well. Oh, okay. I have. Oh yeah. Okay. Historian's notes, party treasure log, and that you definitely want to have the party treasure log, because like all of the treasure that you give out, especially something that's important to the adventure itself, that may be in a player who isn't here. So you'll need to find that and know who has that at a glance. So yeah, I just like to have my players fill in that stuff, and yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so Melchior is a ship's deck wizard. That is a Magewright background. He seeks adventure and a fun time to play his lute. And a fun and wants to have fun playing his lute in front of a broad variety of audiences. And in front of a worldwide audience. And then basically I put an example so people know what to do. And yeah, I can show that to players and actually pop in and see. I can close it, and then I can show you the party treasure log by right-clicking on it, clicking show to players. And then I've got this here. And then I can show you the show to players here. And, yep, and let's see. We've got an event checklist to keep track of stuff for me. And that's basically just a copy paste from the adventures I'm running. And it's got like all the different things that everyone can do. So Roll20 is generally pretty good about data loss. As long as everyone is on the same UI, you probably won't have data loss. But if you do have data loss, the only available option that I'm aware of would be Foundry VTT. And Foundry VTT allows you to import your Roll20 content into Foundry. And there's ways to do that. It involves making sure everything is in a single file and then importing it that way, I believe. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I did kind of research it when I made the decision to get Roll20, because it's very easy to set things up. And then I can run stuff here, and then I can run it on Foundry if I wanted to. Okay. Okay. It probably is, depending on whether or not you're going to use it. So the biggest thing is dynamic lighting. So right now, the way I've got it set is, so Fog of War is on and everything is dark to the players. Or, well, everything should be dark to the players. Now it's oh yeah, yeah, sorry about that. My forgetfulness. Yep, now there should be 2 spots. Yep. All right. So now you can see what I've revealed, and basically I can just use this Fog of War tool to reveal or hide areas. And I can use the polygon reveal, or I can reset the fog. And yeah, so I'll just go back. Well, I'll leave you with something to look at. All right, now the one thing to look out for is if you go over the side here and you move off the edge of the map, that won't go. You'll have to reselect and get it as close as you can, because getting it like perfectly like I did down here at the bottom is very, very difficult, but it's not terribly important. But yeah, the main difference is the dynamic lighting, and basically that allows you to kind of build out. And basically, I'll just show you the polygon tool, but this isn't the actual way to do it. This is just an example. So basically, I'll draw a line between here and here, and then here and here, and here and here. And we'll say that this is not a, well, we'll say that there's a door here. Okay, and then basically you would grab another tool and you would select this line here, because these each have like little squares on them, and then you would select that and you would say that that's a door. And then you can say player can open it, player can't open it, and and then you could require a player to make a check to open it, and that kind of thing. And then it could be sort of automated to a certain extent. And then this area would basically be lit up. And also you would want to basically out here. And then if your character is walking over here, this will cast a shadow, assuming that he's either got dark vision or carrying a torch. And then that'll like move over here, and then you can add light source on your character and light sources on the map. I don't presently have that on the description, so it is not something that I have at the moment. to show you. But yeah, that is the major difference. Um, well, I guess there's also if you go to let's see where do I want. Okay, I'll use this one. Let's see if I go to tools and Roll20 characters, and now they've changed this on me. It used to be character vault, so I'll have to see if you know. I think maybe I do want to just use the vault. So that's what I'm familiar with. I have not explored the other one yet. All right, so I'm going to import an existing character. Now it's sort of like you're doing the reverse of what you should be doing because you're not importing it into. Going to choose a game and see. I'm going to import. Let's see, and you can basically import anything in here that you want it to. Anything that's in your that is in the game whatsoever. So I'm going to import. See, Milky Way Magus is an NPC. Now, in doing this, I have used up one of my my slots here. So, but from here, I can import him into any of these other games and use him as an NPC for any of these other games. However, as a free tier, I get 3 tokens or 3 characters that can be imported into my games. So that's taking one away from you. If you were in another one of my games and you moved from like my Monday to my Tuesday game, then you know there would be one for you to do that if I were to do that this way. And I think there's also a limit to the number that you can have in the compendium, and I think it is removed entirely if you do sign up for the full service. You get to move as many as you want. Let's see. Let's see. I think there's definitely some other features here. Here we go. Oh, subscribe. Let's see. Oh, and the other good thing you get with the subscription is you can actually roll initiative on your game. So if I drag this Sea Goblin Chieftain onto the map and I want to roll initiative, I would click here, and then a little initiative button would show up like right about here, I think. And I could hit initiative, and it would roll for him. Or I could select multiple creatures, or you know, even the party, and then I could just right click and then hit initiative, or maybe it's in this menu here. Yeah, I think it is. I think it does show up in the purple menu here. So you would just basically click either the initiative button that would show up on the panel here, or you would click initiative here. But if I do this and I just click my homemade initiative button here, which I've just made using the let's see, the collection, and now this collection also gets to be quite a mess with all the stuff that I've got imported into here. All right, you know what? I will be back in just a moment. I need to take a quick bio break. All right. All right, I am back. All right, I am back. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Note to self: make a bio break. Or a we're on break. Be back in 5. Kind of screen. Yep. All right. Yeah. So you get the initiative roller. You also get macros, which are different than. Oh, no, these. Let's see. Okay, so macros everyone gets. Scripting is what you get. So you can script stuff um, if you are a pro subscriber. Also, if you wanted to let your players. So right now, if you were to click plus K and create a character, you would basically only get the SRD uh, content, or you would only be able to build your character with the SRD content, anything that you owned. But as a DM with the Pro or Plus subscription, you would be able to open up all of your content to your players. So if you would like to create a character and see what I'm talking about, you may do so. But yeah, that's the other great feature. Now, if you sell content like me and you want people to use your content, it's probably better off that you don't allow that. And you can of course set that up. So you can set that up in your game setup here. And that is, let's see, I think that is okay. All right. All right. So now you can allow players to create their own character. You can turn that on or off. So if you wanted them to only use your your pre-gens, you could select no, and they would have to use your pre-gens. Let's see. Allow players to transfer characters. Now this is a sort of dangerous one because you see I only have 3 transfers. So I may want to leave that on or off depending on how I feel about it. Now, usually, I think the trend has been that better than half will use, so even if I have like 6 people playing, 3 is more than enough to use up my transfers. And then, if they leave, you just kind of kick them from the game, and then your transfer gets freed up. And you've also got your game default settings, which are all of your map settings here, as you would want that to be on default. And let's see, compendium settings, I think that's where you can choose where you can, okay, so yeah, here I can turn content on or off, and I can sort of go through here and click like, okay, I want people to be able to use this, that, and the other thing, and I can just kind of green light everything if I wanted to. And let's see, and I can share my compendium with players if I had the what's it called now? Oh, so I can share my compendium, but I have current players using my compendium is 7 and max players is 5. I don't know how that happened, but apparently I exceeded my current players versus my max players. So yeah, I don't know how I did that, but apparently it is possible. Let's do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is one thing that Roll20 definitely has on D&D Beyond. It's much easier to customize stuff. Like if like if you wanted to basically use some kind of weird homebrew on D&D Beyond, setting that up can be quite difficult, and not everything will work. But you can definitely do that in Roll20 just by scrolling down and clicking the plus thing here, and then going to the compendium. And so like I can give John Smith, let's see, is he a rogue, or no, he's a bard. I can give John Smith sneak attack just like this. Let's go to my compendium, type in sneak attack, and let's see, classes, rogue sneak attack. Rogue sneak attack from the player's handbook. And now I can just drag that on there, and then boom, this guy's got sneak attack. Yeah, he's a bard with sneak attack. Yeah, so you can. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can make some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Ah. Mhm. Yeah, so you could. All right. All right. And let's see. What else? Oh yeah. Yeah. So I guess it takes longer if you're putting in like custom stuff. But yeah, custom stuff is where Roll20 shines. It's really because like nothing else that I've seen has made custom stuff just like because Roll20 is just like a sheet of paper. It's everything you would expect from a tabletop role playing game that just or you can just rip a sheet out of paper out of a notebook and start making character. So another big thing you get with this is, so right now I've only got 100 MB to create my campaign, and I'm using up about 80 of it. And I just swapped out a bunch of tokens and made a bunch of new ones. So I don't know if these tokens use up more than my old ones, but they may or they may not. We shall see. And I've also added some more maps and some more stuff. So I may be eating away at that. I may actually need to sign up for the expanded use. Now, ways around that, of course, are, so I've got let's see, Tessa's maps here, and Tessa's maps I bought on uh, on 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 DMSGuild, and then I can just kind of use these, and they don't take up space on my uh, on my Roll20. So, but yeah, with I think you get, I want to say you get like 1,000 MB. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, 3 GB of cloud storage, or 8 GB with the $100 plan, which I think has gone up. So I think, yeah, it's definitely gone up. So I think it used to be just like a gig and then 3 gigs. Now it's 3 and 8. So yeah, you definitely get more stuff. You also get like free stuff in the, of course, mod BI access and some of the other stuff. Oh, and no load screen ads. So that basically your players, when they first log on, will have a 15-second advertisement for Roll20 that pops up on their screen if you don't have the free stuff, or if you don't have one of the paid plans. Let's see. All right. I think that is everything. Do you have any other questions? Okay. Yes, players can come into this game at any time, and they can access the game at whatever map you leave it on. So if I leave you on this map, then you can always come back to this game as long as you have an invite to it, and you have not been kicked from it. You can always come back here. And yeah. Oh, and another thing. So whenever if you're using a Discord server and you've got a game link and you have a player drop and you kick them out, you will need to change your game link, because as soon as you kick them out, if they don't leave on their own, which most of the time they do not. Yeah, well, I guess I haven't experimented with reminding players when they join to make sure that they leave. I just kind of assume that they will forget if I tell them to, but yeah, it may work. So yeah, you might just want to remind players that it's best that for everyone when they leave, if they actually leave, and it's a little difficult to leave the game. Actually, it's let's see, Hmm. Let's see, games. You can, but you will need to use. I think it's well. You can, but it can be kind of difficult, or it can like it will often like stuff will just often hang up. But it seems to be getting better, and I think it may be that maybe with the new interface, it will allow you to have multiple sessions open or multiple games open. But let's see. Let's see, how do I leave a game? See, I don't even know how to leave a game. I'm not a player. But yeah. Oh, and yeah, so you have like a bunch of stuff here. You get if you have add-ons and you want to add, so if I wanted to add keep the joy of extra dimensional spaces, I could hit add to game. Or I could click add to game here and it would add it. And it looks like I already added that one, so we add the next one, Deep and Creeping Darkness. Spooky. I will add that. And that was the wrong game. It's not the. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back to the master. Oh, and yeah, so master file is basically when you set up your game, you always want to set it up as a master file, because you can actually copy this game. So I can just come to settings and click copy game, and I can rename it and call it something else. And then if anything ever goes wrong with it, or if I want to just start the game over, got all my tokens and everything where they were when I set it up. And yeah, it's excellent for replication, because you can play the same game like 100 times after you've created it, or or more. But let's see, what do I want to add next? Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what comes next off the top of my head on Candlekeep, but let's see. We'll add the Sleeping Dragon's Wake. And then I come over to here, expand this. Now, when you do this, it will actually just kind of dump everything in all. So now I've got this start, this untitled, this start, and these untitled and start, and all of this stuff here. And I've got latent point token page. But basically, since I've already gotten all of my stuff here, I've got Candlekeep in this folder, Eberron in this one, Tessa's maps here, A Fall of Elturel, and Forgotten on the Isle of Nemos, which is mine. Here, I can just say, okay, well, I know all of these need to get put into a new folder called Is that I just okay? Sleeping Dragon's Wake. I can just add a new folder. And then I can go back to all. And I can just kind of drag these in one at a time in order, because that's the order that they'll show up. And now let's see what this actually came with here. So some of these start screens are very useful. I don't know why this has extra untitled and start games, but let's see. And I named that one, so I'm just going to that. Oh, okay. So yeah, token pages are really handy if you buy content already made, and you can make these by yourself, of course. But basically, everything you need is right here, and you can just kind of click on it and hit Control C to copy it, or you can right click and click copy, and then you just go to the map that you want to use it on, and boom, I dropped one of these, whatever it was, right there. There it is. In a moment, immediately. A Minotaur skeleton. And now there is a Minotaur skeleton, B87, looking into a pool of water, waiting to eat these swashbucklers. Oh, and I did not put you on the map there. Should do that. But yeah, so basically do that and hit paste. And there you go. Got another skeleton. Got two of them now. You can delete them. I'm sure you can with the 87. Was it a dexterity or constitution? Con. Okay. Well, he can. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What else can I show you? Let's see. Oh, so I like to also, there's also this Roll20 tips, and I basically just copied and pasted this from the Roll20. I think it's like a tutorial thing or something, like a tutorials page. But basically, it's like how to use all the features, and so you can come here, and if you post this here, it's real easy access for players to get it in the game. You just copy paste it right into your game. And yeah, there's some pretty cool features like Q and the mouse button while measuring will add a waypoint in your measuring line, which is basically if I want to use the measuring tool and go here, and hit Q, Q, and hit Q, and hit Q, and hit Q, and hit Q. I've now dashed around and made a bunch of attacks against a bunch of people. Yeah. So you can really kind of get to know how to measure your stuff. But that's more for players. And of course there is drawing and resizing. This comes in handy. Oh, so only you can modify the size of a player's token, which will often happen if they're copying their tokens and pasting them from one page to another, and the grid is different from one page to the next. For instance, let's see, this map does it to you. Nope, I didn't want to put it in. Put you there as well. And now if you would drag your token to the map, and never mind the goblins that you can't see on your screen. Okay, so yeah, so if you, yeah, there's no goblins there. There's no goblins, and that's not a trap you're standing in. He's not standing in a trap. No. Okay. Yeah. He's fine. He'll be just fine. He'll only fall and take some damage. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. He's fine. But yeah. And basically what I've done here is, if you check your YouTube screen, you'll see that there's a line of logs. And those are individual. That is actually a group of the same log, which has been kind of copy pasted. And you can change that from layers or ungroup it so that if the player wants to move it and throw it in the thing, then that's fine too. But yeah, this box kind of marks out where I know it is, and then I've got some other stuff in the module. Now I haven't converted my entire module to the handouts here, but I eventually will. That is very handy and very useful to have it all in one place. And it doesn't take up a whole lot of data to do so unless you start filing pictures into it. But yeah. So now your token was fine when you loaded it from here, but as you can see, I've loaded these goblins in from another screen, or I've copied and pasted these goblins from another screen. So they are by default a little bit larger than they should be. So, but if these were character tokens, they would have to ask me to resize them. And generally, you can resize lots of tokens at once. It's usually pretty easy. And then your stuff here won't line up initially, but then you just click right and left if you're on a map that allows you to do that, and that will do that. And we're going to just move these out. And there we go. These are all nice and in the right size. So yeah, that's just something that, yeah, instead of giant goblins. So and another thing, there's also another useful tool that I really should remember myself, that is in the Roll20 tips, is how to change between the tokens, the GM, and the map layer. And let's see. Okay, so it's Control Command M to switch to the map, Control Command O to go to the object or token layer, and Control K to go to the GM info layer. So something that I found to be kind of weird is that like editing text. So when you put down text, you always want to select the color of the text before, well, the color and the size, because it will not change for whatever reason after you've selected it. So now I've got everything red. Now, if I wanted to change that to a smaller size, you'll probably have to see this on Roll20. Because it is partially obscured by the fog layer. I will reveal that. So if I click this here and then I click here, let's see, it won't let me do that. So I will have to click this, and then once I do that, I can then click into this. And I can change the text, but as soon as I go over here to change something like the color, it just goes away. It won't let you do it. Or if I want to change the size, it won't let you do it. So the size and the color are definitely something that you need to know what you're doing before you post it. And deleting it is, of course, just as easy as deleting the text, and then it should be just missing. So there shouldn't be anything here when I select it, except for this stuff up here. Oh, no, there's something here. Oh, no, there's a text box there. Okay, so you may have to drag this over and hit delete. Sometimes it will do that. Oh, and so the jukebox, if I leave this map and I go to another map, especially if I drag you to it as a player, now you'll get this music from this map. And let's see, and now I take you back here. This music won't always start. Okay, so this music will not start once you've started it. So you can either come to the jukebox and find the song among like the tons of songs that you have in here, or you can go to the strip here, or the ribbon, or the pages tab, or whatever they're calling it these days, and you can go here and you can come down to the music, and you can just change this to this, and then back to the jungle trail, which is what I've named it, and then save settings. And then if you change back to this map, okay, maybe I have to go to this one, and then to this. It's not working the way it used to. Let's see, what else can I do here? That's odd. Just the old interface it worked, and the new one it does not. So I guess I will have to switch back to the old UI to make that trick work again. Or maybe there is no. Okay, there's got to be like a reset audio, or restart audio. But otherwise, it'll just kind of play on repeat. Okay, so yeah, I can just come over here and click back on this one. Let's start it over. But yeah, it was kind of cool that you could go back and just go into the settings and reset it by just changing it one and back to the other, so that it would be there the next time. But I guess now, whenever I come back here, I will have to hit play to this, unless I go through and I don't touch the map before I do that. And maybe that is a feature that is on the Pro or Plus version. I don't know. But yeah, I think that is just about everything I've got, unless you've got some questions for me. All right. Well, I'll be more than happy to answer them when you have them. All right. All right. Cool.